It's Counting Sheep, and I'm going to do a tutorial, a DIY tutorial on how to make little holiday tags. On the back of them I've got the to and from out of recycled bags. This bag was from Trader Joe's, but I'm going to take you through it, how to make these just for fun. And I Googled most of these ideas. A couple of them came from my head, but I'm not great at coming up with these ideas, so a lot of them are things that I got online. But anyway, and you can also, if you don't want to cut up brown paper bags, I started by just making regular Christmas tags, or excuse me, that's Hanukkah holiday tags. By purchasing, you can get these at Michael's, these already made tags, or online from Amazon. So anyway, there should be enough to play with, but I love the idea of recycling the tags. I started doing that later, and getting these bags, the old paper bags, and cutting them up. So I'm going to put that part at the very end. I'll put a timestamp in so that you can see how to cut up the bags. Not that that's that hard, but sometimes those things can get you hung up. So that's at the very end if you want to do that, but I'm going to start first with actually doing the pen work. Okay. Well, typical me, I forgot to hit record. So what I was showing you was the pens. They're artists' Loft pens, and I get them from Michael's. Let's see if I can do it without making too much noise. They're just these watercolor tip markers. There you go. And let's see, how many is in this set? 24. And I usually just use a few markers out of it. And I was taking you through step by step. So what I did first was just make circles with a marker before. I did not put the ink pen on till after. And you can see I just left a little white spot there on each one. Maybe I'll do one more just so you can see how I do it. I'll do another green. Let's put one over here. So I just leave a little dot that's not inked in. And then these are my favorite pens, these Micron pens. I do an 01 and an 05. And the reason I love them is because you can draw before, if you prefer to outline and then color in, and it won't blend, or excuse me, it won't bleed into the paper, which is really hard to find pens that don't do that. So that's how it works, very simple. And then you can just keep it really rough. It's fine if some of the white shows, and it's fine if some of the color is on the outside of the, like you can see this one, there's color outside of it. It's just fine. That's part of kind of what gives it some character. And these are going to be little ornaments. So you can either get a piece of paper or ruler to make them straight. I like to do this. I like to just, let's see, I want the 01 for this. And I like to just kind of have it be a little squiggly straight up to the top of the page, so that it again has a little more of a sketched look. And you can just see how simple this is. And again, I got all of these ideas online. These are not my ideas. And I just looked up like Christmas watercolor tags or Christmas watercolor cards, and then I get ideas from that. And then I play with it. So now you've got your lines. I'll hold that up in case you can't see it. And then on each one you kind of do your little, there's probably a name for it, that little ornament fixture. I'll probably just do a couple cards like this, and then I'll show you how I finish them up. With a little bit of stippling in both the black and the red, which I love. That's one of the fun parts. Okay. And again, you can buy these tags at Michael's, or you can buy them on Amazon. And it's tough right now to know what's the best to tell people with quarantine and with COVID, but whatever is safest. And you want to support local, and that's also what's challenging. Okay, so that's the basics. You could stop right there and you'd have a really pretty little Christmas tag. And I did the to and from on the back. Is it still? Yeah, it's still filming. Good. And sometimes I'll do a little there too, to give it a little squiggle, like it's on hanging from something. Okay, now what I do is on the opposite side of the little light thing, I put a few little dots, a little few of these black dots. And for me, it just gives it a little more character. It's such a simple way to just put some stippling around and give it some character. And then if you want, you can even carry that further and stipple all around it. I'm going to do that on another one. But that's as simple as it gets. Isn't that fun? So anybody can do these. Your kids can do these. You can do these. Just anybody. I'm going to do another one. Do I want to do a Christmas tree or a little tree inside of a... I feel like the tree inside the truck might be harder for some. I'm going to do, I'll show you. This, the way I did this one is I just start with the tree in ink, and then I draw the truck around it. And then I outline with black. So anybody who wants to try that, that's something, I'm sure I got that idea somewhere too. I think I'm going to do some kind of a tree. I'm not going to put the little elf by it, but I'm going to do a tree because I think that's one that everybody could do. So to start with, I'm going to put it in a little red pot. And we'll go like this. And I'm going to leave a little spot there for some of the tree to come down. And I think I won't fill this in yet. I'll fill that in after. And now I'm going to kind of just dot. And I do this when I do a wreath. If I do a wreath, where's one of my wreaths? This is one on a white tag. What I do is I go around first with my green pen and just kind of pen in dots of green so that I can get the circle. And that way, if you get the circle wonky, when you start to squiggle in the green, you can make up for it and you can make it look a little more round. So there's my little trick. Okay, so I'm going to just do some really basic squiggles, get this tree shape going. And sometimes I like to just let there be a little dot here and there to keep it interesting. And you can make your little, branches go up, or you can make them sag down depending on the kind of evergreen you're doing. And someone's calling me on my phone. I'm going to just let that go. Hopefully that's not too annoying for you guys. Okay, I'm getting a really general shape here, and then I'll fill it in a little more in a minute. Now, you could do a Charlie Brown tree that just stays like that. And if you outline it, you can even make it look like there's snow on it if you outline it up above and leave blank spots. But I'm going to do it a little different. So I'm going to fill her in a little bit more. Get some dots going there just to kind of loosen it up. Okay. All right, so now you see I got one branch kind of going down into the pot just to make it look a little more interesting. Okay, now I'm going to take my red. Do I want to leave a little? I might leave a little bit of a shiner mark there. I don't know, that may not work. We'll see how that goes. And fill in around the branch. And these markers are so nice and I'm just going to fill that in. Fluffy that it's pretty quick. And you can layer a little bit with them. I'll try that maybe with some of this when I'm done. Okay, now I'm going to put a few little ornaments on the tree with the same color. But you can use, in fact, I might do a couple different colors on this one just for fun so you can see how fun it is. Sometimes you can do full circle, or you can make it look like some of them are tucked behind. I want to have a little one hanging here. Okay, now I'm going to do my little more pink color and do some other ones here. Oops, I'm gonna have to make that into one now. Okay, and sometimes the different colors can give a little more depth to it. Do I want another one? I feel like that'll be two. Needs one more somewhere, maybe here. Okay, and you can put a little star at the top of your tree or a little bow, whatever you want. I'm just going to leave mine plain. And now is the next fun part, and that is outlining. Because this guy's big, I'm going to use my bigger pen, the 05. And we'll just outline the pot first. Make sure I'm still in camera. Yeah, good. Okay, and now I'll do this. And you just do the squiggly, and if you let up every once in a while and just kind of dot, then it keeps it a little looser, which kind of works. Makes it's more forgiving that way, I guess is a good way to say it. So you're not necessarily doing a hard line around the whole thing, you're just kind of filling in the edges. And you can do it more in, you know, like round curves, or you can make it more spiky, whatever you like. There's not a right way to do it. Some days I feel more like one, and some days I feel more like the other. Okay. And it makes it jump a little more off the page. Might make it a little more cartoony looking, I don't know. All right, and then I sometimes do a little bit inside too, here and there. I'll show you this one because you can really see it. There we go. You can see that I did quite a few where I did branches throughout there. So I'm just going to do a little bit of that in this one too. Maybe here, so it looks like that's a... Okay. There we go. All right, now so we've got a couple here. I'm gonna stipple this one all around. And I don't know if that's even gonna read on the camera, but hopefully you'll see it. And then I'll do the white stippling, which is kind of fun. So I'll sometimes just do the edge of this a little bit more on that side. And I might even on this one go over that a little bit more to give it a little more depth. There, shadow on the side. And I'm going to do the same with the tree. I'm going to do some little edges that are a little darker so that it kind of feels like there's some texture and depth to that. Branches. I feel like I'm being Bob Ross right now. Your tree can look totally different than mine. It's going to. Some of you are going to be real artists. I'm kind of a pseudo artist, more of a crafter. Okay. So now you can see that that gives it a little bit. And I probably made some of those a little too linear. Just find little chunks where you can give it a little more color. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm starting to like the look of that. So I'm going to stipple a little bit more with my 5. And a little bit on the tree too. I don't know why I like that. That again comes from my landscape architecture days when I would render the plans. And one of the artists always did white and black stipples. So can you see those? It just kind of gives it, again, a little more of a dimension. Now, I'm going to do some white, if I can find my white paint. Oh, where did I put it? There it is. All right, I'm going to do a little bit of white paint, stippling. And this is just one of my favorite things. I'm going to use a little tool. I have no idea where I got this or what it's for, but this is what I use it for. And so I'm just going to do little dots around of the white. And it kind of makes it feel like maybe it's snow or who knows. Just a little bit here and there. And this is just acrylic white paint, basic. Here you go. About as cheap as it gets. Close to $1. But these honestly are kind of nice little gifts. I may start doing this every year. We'll see. I always think I'm going to keep something up and then I lose steam. But it was nice. People seem to appreciate them this year. And it always feels good to recycle something. All right. I may have put those dots a little too equally apart. If you can kind of make them look a little more organic, that's nice. And I think I'm even going to do that on this one. Just to give it a little more interest. And I think it just gives it a little artsy flair. And then I also, I do put little initials down at the bottom because that way people know that they were handmade. Especially if they give them away to someone else because they're going to use them as gift tags. So I'm going to show you my little, just put a little signature initial in the corner. And I'll do a couple more. I'm going to put white spots on a couple more just for fun. Why not? By the way, this was Coda's idea. Thank you, Coda, to show how to do these gift tags. So thanks to Coda, because I don't think it would have occurred to me to share what I'm doing here. We'll put a little bit on that elf. Hopefully I'm still in the frame. I can't tell if it's really dark in this picture. I hope you can see. It is my intention and my hope. Okay. And I'm going to tap that on the side there. Maybe a couple more in the tree. Okay. See how it just looks like it's a little snow outside now. And I'm going to do that on this one too. I think I'm going to send these to my son. He was going to come home for Christmas with his girlfriend, but because of the spiking in the coronavirus, we're probably not going to be able to do that. And it'll be, I think, our first Christmas not together. If you have, let's see if I've got any ink even in these. Sometimes just little fun doodads like this can be, just do little spirals. And maybe I'll do some with different sizes. And that's just a Sharpie bronze metallic. Big one down there. And maybe a big one up there. Okay, so see how simple? So if you think you're not an artist, you can just do something fun like that. And you could do it with any kind of metallic. Silver might show up better on brown paper. All right, that's it. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoy whatever holidays you celebrate. And if you're not a holiday celebrator, then I just hope you enjoy your December. Okay, thanks for stopping by. So after cutting your strips of the bag into thirds, or if you like longer tags, you can cut them just in half. And then I usually stack up 2 or 3 of them. Make sure the top corners, or the top edge is matching. And what you do is you cut off one corner, whatever angle you like, and then you can either take that corner and flip it over so that that corner is the edge to cut from on the other side, or you can take that, and these have already been cut because the first set that I tried to do on camera didn't work. But you cut that first edge, fold it over, and then you can cut the second edge, the second side, by just doing that. And it's pretty forgiving, that fold will come out. So anyway, and don't worry about rough edges. You can see that these are rough. That can be part of the rustic charm, and if there's even some that are folded. And if you don't like that, I find that I just clean them up after. You can clean up your edges after you have colored them and painted them. Okay.